let's get into how I keep my credit score great. And I've had hiccups, but I keep it great. My credit score has always been within the 600 realm for a while. It hits the sevens, drops back down to six sometimes, stays in the sevens, blah, blah, blah. Can't get it to eight, but one day we'll get there. And in my opinion, I think that if you do have a lot of credit cards right now, you have a lot of debt, if there's a way that you can accumulate that all into one lump sum, do it. Do not have it divvied into different accounts, because that's what makes it hard for you to pay them off. Actually, let me get into, what do I want to get into first? What did I say I was going to talk about? I was going to talk about how I keep my credit score good, but let me talk about the hiccups with having credit cards and what I went through with having credit cards. So, like I said, I had my Chase and Discover for the longest. I wanted to close up my Chase one so bad, but it's my first credit card, which means it has all my major credit history from back at the beginning, so I can't close it out. So basically, there's definitely hiccups with having multiple credit cards, because you are having money in different accounts being taken out, even if it's in the same business, meaning in the same company, meaning they're both Chase cards. Then it was Chase and the other one was Discover. It's really hard to maintain. And if you're going to tell me that it's not, okay. But it's really hard to maintain, because with my Chase one and with my Discover, I think accumulatively I had $2,000 to pay back, or around $1,000 and something to pay back. And I think rule of thumb is that you should have either half or less on your credit card. So meaning at that point I had, what was it, $3,500 worth of credit. I should have only have had what would it be, $1,750 or less. Probably didn't have that. Credit score was still in the sixes, still good, but probably didn't have that. And it was really hard for me to maintain paying the two. Like, I would put 200 on Discover, put 200 on Chase, but it was never going down, because I would spend, let's say, 200 that month. So it kind of wasn't ever, it was just like a circle. Nothing was ever really getting paid off. And at the end of the day, when I say I was putting 200 on each, I was actually putting $400 on each a month. But it was still like a circle. It was still like, even if I paid them, I wasn't really getting any lower. So eventually I came up with the idea to, when I got my income tax, why did I say it like that? When I got my income tax, I believe I paid a majority of my Chase card off, and I still had the Discover bill, I believe. And then I think later on I was thinking, because I didn't want to mess up my savings, I didn't want to go into my savings, but it was bothering me so much that I used my savings to pay off the other credit card. I don't think that's a smart idea, but for me, it was bothering me so much that I had the debt that I was like, I'm just gonna use my savings to pay it off. And then I had to kind of start over. I still had savings, but I still had to start over with the savings. And then because I literally don't think you should touch your savings. Same thing with me right now. I have a savings, and I was wondering if I should take that and pay on my credit cards, but no, I got this time. I definitely got it. And I've lost my savings basically twice, because I got into a car accident and I lost my whole entire savings, so I had to use it on my new car. I didn't have to, but I did. So yeah, and I was also using my credit cards on my car, so that kind of brought the credit cards back up. But it's fine, I got it, and they're gonna be paid off. So it's really hard to balance. So that's why I have the 3 credit cards as what they are. So I think just last month I transferred over my Chase balance to my Discover, so I used up my whole balance transfer thing. And then today I literally just transferred my Amazon to my Discover, so they're both under 0% APR for 18 months. I paid the upfront fee. We're good. So now there is $3,000-ish on my Discover account, which I'm definitely fine with, because at least it's under one umbrella and I can pay on it easier and quicker. So that's what I have going on right now. So, and then my other credit cards are just zero. The Chase one, the Chase Freedom is zero. The Amazon one is zero. The Amazon one is always going to fluctuate, because like I said, I use that for my gas. I use it for knickknacks and everything like that. But the thing that I'm trying to do differently now is definitely not let money sit. Just pay it off. And a lot of things I was using my credit card for, and still will use my credit card for, are paying for trips. So I had trips that I put on it, and of course those things are already paid off, but other things are coming, so it never really like goes away. But I don't think I'll be going on too many trips. I don't know, but I don't think I'll be going on too many trips, so I don't have that burden anymore. So like my only burden is just my high gas because I pay premium, and food, clothes that I might like. Sometimes I have an impulse buy. Like yesterday, I brought the little Victoria's Secret onesie. That's definitely an impulse buy. It's definitely like a $40 purchase, but I brought it. So there's things like that, and I do have other credit things like, but that's something different. That's my actual real cash, not my credit card cash. So there are things being dispersed to different things, and I can tell you that I don't have as many burdens as a normal person, meaning like I don't have rent. The only bill that I really have is just my car, gas, which I don't know if you would consider gas a bill, but to me I do consider that a bill, the gas that goes into my car. And like some things that I finance, like some luxury things that I finance that I'm going to give as gifts, I couldn't pass them up. They were a great deal, and I really want to give them as a gift, so I purchased some luxury things. That's almost gone, so that's good. And the payments on that aren't too hefty. I can either choose to pay it off, or I can keep it as it is, but I'm going to keep it as it is, pay on those, pay on my car, pay on my credit cards. And it's honestly, it sounds like a lot, and to people who have bills, it probably doesn't sound like a lot. I'm probably living the life of luxury because I still do live at home. I'm probably living the life of luxury, but that for me right now, it is kind of a lot. And I could have other burdens like living in an apartment, but why should I do that? Why should I put that burden on myself and have a roommate and split, let's say rent is $12,000, pay $600 towards, I would be struggling. I don't even think I'll be able to do anything. So that's the reason why I choose to live at home, and that's why I have less of a burden. And to me, if you can stay at home and, you know, do what I'm doing, then do it. So yeah, so that's kind of like the catch-22 with having a credit card. But basically, what was I gonna talk about before? Oh, how I keep my credit score good. And this sounds bad, but buy everything with your credit cards. And there's a catch-22 in that, because of course with credit cards and with your FICO score, having an active credit card is sometimes not good because you're using it all the time and all this other crazy stuff. Like, don't open up credit cards multiple times. So I'm so pissed because I didn't know, because let me just give you the story. I went into freaking AutoZone. Was it AutoZone? Something. I went into AutoZone, one of those tire places, and they were like, "Do you want a card?" And I'm like, I mean, sure, why not? Like, I thought they were talking about one of those little keychain cards. So he's asking me these questions. It's not dawning on me when he asks me about my finances. I'm like, I don't know why you need to know this. Then he brings up the keypad, and I'm putting in my finances, my my social, and it's still not dawning on me, because this is not the way I have ever applied for credit cards. I've always applied, and actually I should retract the whole AutoZone name, because I literally don't want to give the wrong company name and be bashing the way the employee had me to sign up for this, and it's the way that they have you to sign up for it, and the employee not stating that it was a credit card. So I don't know if it was AutoZone, and I don't want to put AutoZone in that light, so let's retract that it was AutoZone. Let's just say it was a tire company, definitely a big name tire company. He said, "Do you want a card?" I thought it was a little keychain card, and it was actually a credit card. The way that they had you sign up for it was on a little pin pad, like the one that you swipe your credit cards with, or debit cards, the one that you do that with. So none of this stuff was registering in my head. Even when I put in my social, it wasn't registering that I was signing up for a credit card. Then he said, "You're approved." And I'm like, what? I was pissed. I was pissed. So that has actually messed with my credit score, because even though I just gained a line of credit, which means that now I have even more credit and less debt, it messed with it, because they went into my credit, got a point, and now this point is going to be on my credit score for a year. I take pride in my credit score, and now that freaking point is going to be on my credit card for a year. I probably shouldn't open up another credit card until 6 months has passed, which is actually kind of good, because if I do all my LLC stuff by then, that's going to be all in place, and then I could open my business card. So I should stop being anxious and trying to open up this business card and just wait a little bit longer. So right now, I'm not gonna open up a credit card anytime soon because literally just last month I opened up one, closed it out because I didn't want it, and so like I even called them and I was like, "What is the point of me having this credit card? No, no point whatsoever. Like no points being earned, no cash back being earned." So I'm like, "Okay, let's just close this out. Never use it. Close it out. I don't want it." And so that happened, and so like my credit score, which was I knew for a fact was in the sevens, just dropped down to the six somethings, higher six somethings, definitely above 650, but higher six somethings, and and so that's where I'm at now. And then my credit score went down and around like the May June time because that's when I bought my car. So I was more in the sevens this whole entire year, but was definitely fluctuating within the sixes. Right now I'm in the sixes. But my philosophy, which kind of sounds bad, is just use your credit card and buy everything with it. But make sure you pay it off. Don't do like how I have done where there is a debt. If you can honestly pay it off, just do it. Don't let it sit there and accumulate interest, which is why I'm just like, why do I have this Amazon balance accumulating interest? I could just transfer over to Discover, have 0% APR for 18 months, pay it off. So right now, like I said, I have like around 3,000 in the Discover. That's going to be paid off within like 3 months. It's going to be gone. So I'm not really worried about that. And now like my Chase ones are at zero, where those are both 20% APR. And like I said, when I pay for gas, buy stuff, it's being paid off. Like I'm not letting it sit there. I don't want this 21% on my mind and having to pay an extra 21% because like I said, the points don't make sense. The 5% cash back that I get, it all doesn't make sense. And for the Amazon one, I don't know if it's actual cash back or if it's Amazon cash back, which I'm fine with, but I don't think that I see the actual cash on my card. I think it goes straight to Amazon. And then like the other Chase Freedom, it is my actual cash back, which I could use towards my bill. But that's how it is. And so yeah, like I was saying, my philosophy is just buy stuff with your credit card and pay it off. And I don't have any store credit cards other than that, like I said, Amazon. But Amazon is actually a cashback card, which is great. So there's different credit cards for sure. I don't know much about them, but there's cashback credit cards and points within the store credit card. So like IKEA, they have a cashback credit card. You get 5% cash back on any IKEA purchases, 2% on restaurants and gas stations, and 1% on anything else. That's a cashback credit card. But yesterday I went to Victoria's Secret and I was actually dabbling in the idea of opening up a Victoria's Secret credit card because now I'm starting to like want to get something from them like at least once a month. Gotta kind of chill on that, but that's like kind of like my idea right now. And so I was thinking about opening up a Victoria's Secret credit card, but there's no real benefits if I don't shop from them often. So I don't have a whole Victoria's Secret wardrobe, and I don't plan on having a whole entire Victoria's Secret wardrobe. So since I don't shop from them often, there's no reason for me to really open up this credit card. And if I did, I would just pay it off. I would get the points to pay it off. Because they have a point system and pay it off. So I've been dabbling in the idea of like literally opening up a credit card to everywhere that I shop. But that's also scary. And I know for a fact that I will not, or I don't know for a fact, but the goal is that I know for a fact that I will not have balances on these credit cards because I don't want to, because then that's like 20 credit cards where I have to remember, what's on them, paying them off. So to me, you always hear like, don't open up a store credit card. They have the highest interest rate, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, that is true, but if you are disciplined and can open up that store credit card and pay it off, you buy the merchandise, literally pay it off right after you buy it, then yeah, do it. But the reason why that's hard is because you're paying it off with your actual cash from your bank account. You're not paying it off with another credit card. So if you get what I'm saying, because essentially the money that I'm using from my bank account is to pay off my major credit cards, like my everyday credit cards. It's not money that I'm using to pay off my off my fun credit cards, like the ones for each store. And if I think about it clearly, technically, if I'm not using my major everyday credit cards to buy the things from those stores, then technically that money that's in my debit account, which is like my actual real cash, could go towards those. So if I think about it that way, actually it still kind of works. So for me, I would be opening up a credit card with Victoria's Secret, Ulta, Forever 21. Those are the three that I could think of right now. Sephora, if they have one. IKEA, I guess. TJ Maxx, because that's like the whole Marshalls, everything. That's the whole TJX corporation. Yeah, those are like the 6 places that I shop at. I would say not religiously, but definitely quite a bit. Enough to dabble in the thought of opening up a credit card for them. So that would be me. I would have 6 credit cards. Not a bad thing, but kind of a bad thing, because just like you just have to make sure you're divvying up your money correctly between, oh, let's go with Walmart and Target too. So 8. You have to make sure that you're divvying up. I would have to make sure that I'm divvying up my money correctly between 8 credit cards plus 3, 2, because the Discover is my transferring balance thing, and plus 2 other credit cards. One which I use for like kind of internet purchases, but that will kind of change because now I have credit cards from those companies that I shop at from a lot. So there's also that, and the one that I use for like everyday things. So this is like this little piece that I just added in about the store credit cards, like a side thing. Anyway, so that's kind of like how you have to think about it. You just have to think about the simple fact that you're paying 10 different bills. I'm still dabbling in that thought. It probably isn't smart, but if I was to be disciplined, which right now I don't know if I could trust myself, so it definitely wouldn't be done right now. It would be done after I'm done paying that $3,000 back to Discover. I need like water because all I'm doing is talking. And so once that's gone, then maybe I'll dabble in the thought of opening up other credit cards, but it's kind of a scary thought. I'm not interested in doing it. It's just good for the business, and I'm actually going to look more into the 8 that I named and whether or not it's even smart to have these credit cards and what type of point system you have, whatever they have. And as another side note, I just wanted to tell you what my what my debt to credit ratio is. So my credit score should probably go up. Sorry. My credit score should probably go up next month. So my debt to credit ratio is, so my Discover is 4,000. That's the limit, the credit limit. Not saying I don't have 4,000 up there. The credit limit is 4,000, which changed from 25. My Chase Freedom took so long to change. I think it literally just changed this year. As far as the credit limit, I had 1,500 for so long, which wasn't a bad thing. I there was times where I wanted to increase it, but I'm like, what for? Leave it at 1,500. You're doing good. It was at 1,500. I literally think until this year, and now that's at 3,000. And my Amazon was started out at 25. Is now it mysteriously went up to I think 5,000, which I'm just like, Amazon, what are you doing? I'm not gonna spend 5,000, but what are you doing? Originally it was 25, like the Discover one. So right now I have, I have $9, $10, $12,000 in credit, and I only have 3,000 in debt. So I'm well below the half threshold, which I love. It's going to be paid off within these next 3 months, and I won't have, or the plan is not to have any debt. And the thing is, I'm going to just be paying on my little small stuff that I'm going to buy on my Amazon card, the Chase one that is going to be used on like some online purchases. And like I said, I'm going to dabble in the idea of maybe opening up store credit cards. I'm really not sure about that. And I'm also going to open up a business credit card, which is going to be another line of credit, but businesses I don't think they affect your personal, so that's a whole nother like situation. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give you, I know I kind of like jumped everywhere. I thought that this video was actually going to be way longer than what it is. I just wanted to give you some rundown on how I've kept my credit score so well, and it's because I live for that. Because there's things that I want to do in life. I want a house. I want to buy a new car. I have a new car, but like eventually I'm going to want to buy a new car. I'm going to want to refinance my current car, so there's also that. And so having an amazing credit score helps you with all these things. Having a poor credit score, of course, isn't going to help, but there's always ways to build your poor credit score to become a better credit score. And like I said, I think honestly consolidating all your credit cards and anything that has a financial situation on it into just one lump sum, it's easier. So that was my little rant and ramble. I hope that this was interesting. It's definitely a different content, but I thought it was needed content coming from somebody who's just normal, who doesn't have a background in credit or credit cards and just has learned through the years of having them for 3 years and has learned from mistakes and what not to do and what to do. If you have any further questions or want me to go into detail on anything else about credit cards and credit scores and what I'm doing next, just write it down in the comment section. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely like. And follow me on my socials at Maya_love, MAYA_LOVE. And I will see you guys later. Bye.